Hello everyone, it's Eddie Pierre again, and I want to take this opportunity to share a brief thought with you. Quickly, I want to remind you that we are publishing our podcast sessions, and so the name of our podcast is Mindful Conversation for Critical Time. So you can go on our YouTube channel and begin to see and watch our podcast, and I appreciate your comments and your point of view, as well as appreciating the time you give in watching our podcast. Briefly today, I want to share a brief video with you to remind you that when I start this podcast, as you recall, my primary approach is that our world is filled with noise and loud, and one of the aspect of the noise I describe, those pretentious noise. And pretentious, it's just those organizations and peoples and companies and industry that pretend that they have the best interests of the world at heart, and only to find out that they don't. And so we reach a point now, many voices are making noise, claiming that the Western civilization is collapsing. The Western civilization is falling apart, and they'll give all kind of reason, whether it's economic inequality, political polarizations, and social discourse, and contentions, and mispleas, and distrust. Well, all those things are factors that are bringing the Western civilization into a state of cataclysmic, but those only part and partial. And so I just want to remind you that you need to be vigilant and you need to be open-minded. We need to pay attention to the things that are happening and around the world, as well as the things that are happening in our life. But there's one thing you need to rest assured, that the trends and the movement we see that are happening in the world, I don't want to sound as a doom and gloom. I don't believe that I am, as far as I can tell. I am someone who, I'm a realist. I do not look at things and pretend they don't exist. I don't rationalize and trying to create different ways and mean when reality is in my face. And so the fact of the matter is, we've been working very hard for several hundred years to bring the world where it's at today. And so therefore, this is nothing but our own consequences. And so what you and I need to do is just what I said. We need to be vigilant. We need to be aware. We need to educate ourselves. We need to be informed and make sure that in everything you do, make sure you turn off the noise makers, because there are many noise makers out there, and the intention are just pretentious. The intention is to make noise, to distract us. The intentions are simply the same people who were years ago in university and colleges and academic institutions and big corporate company making themselves rich and publishing books and doing all kinds of things, now taking the airwaves as the savior of this world. And so these are the things we need to be aware of, so we can turn them off, and so we can be able to differentiate between sound knowledge, people who are sharing well thought out, practical, reasonable, knowledgeable information that we can use to better determine how we're going to navigate ourselves through this very challenging time that not only are happening right now, but ahead to come. And so I need to remind you, as I have been, listen. Again, please, Mindful Conversation for the Critical Time is a podcast we put together. It's a production of Ensource Innovation. And so please check our YouTube and subscribe, and also comment and give us the thumbs up. I am looking forward to share with you some practical information, not to tell you what to do, but to be aware, to be open-minded, to be able to differentiate, and to shut off those noise makers, and lest they continue to distract us and confuse us anymore that we already are. Until the next time, Mindful Conversation for the Critical Time. I will see you next time. Thank you.